AI didn't make me money. It exposed something worse. I tried. I really tried. I prompted it for business ideas, asked it to write viral threads, and even had it analyze market trends for me, but the balance didn't move. And the worst part? It was working perfectly. And yet, I remained stuck in the exact same financial position I was in before the big boom started. AI did not fail me, but it did something far more valuable. It held up a mirror so clear and so unforgiving that I could no longer look away from the system operating the keyboard. The system was me. The expectation gap here is a chasm wide enough to swallow a generation's worth of optimism. You remember the pitch. You've seen the threads. AI was supposed to be the great equalizer, faster income, complete automation of the boring parts, a shortcut through the drudgery of learning and execution. We were told we could trade hours for prompts. We expected a lever that would pry open the door to financial ease while we watched. What actually arrived in most households was a different beast entirely. The same income, a flat line. But now, a new layer of digital confusion and a specific kind of psychological overwhelm. You have access to infinite information, but zero direction. You can generate 1,000 words a minute, but you don't know which words matter. The tool worked flawlessly. The outcome didn't. That disconnect is not a bug in the software. It is a flaw in the operating system of how we think about value. This leads us to the false model that most of us have been running on autopilot. The underlying belief system is that AI equals skill replacement. You don't need to be a writer. The AI writes. You don't need to be an analyst. The AI finds patterns. This feeds the second false belief, that AI equals effort reduction. The logic is simple. If the machine does the work, I do less work. And then the grand finale, the belief that AI equals an income generator, that the tool itself is the asset that prints money. Here's where this breaks. This model is not just wrong, it is expensive. It is expensive in time lost and opportunities missed. Here is why. AI amplifies input quality. It is a force multiplier, not a force creator. If your thinking is unclear, the AI will generate 10 versions of unclear thinking at lightning speed. Most people approaching this technology are operating with no leverage system, meaning they have no existing asset or audience to apply the output to. And crucially, they have no problem selection ability. They cannot identify which friction in the marketplace is worth solving. The core line you need to carry forward is this. AI doesn't create value, it scales the value that already exists. If the value inside your head is 0, the AI scales 0. And 0 times a million is still a very loud, very fast 0. If you want to understand why the bank balance didn't respond to the new software, you have to abandon the idea of AI as a magic wand and look at the actual mechanism of making money. It has 3 distinct layers, and AI touches all of them. The first layer is perception. What problems do you actually notice? Not just what annoys you, but what inefficiency or pain point can you clearly articulate? Most people fail here. They notice their own discomfort, but cannot externalize it into a market need. The second layer is selection. Of all the problems you notice, which one do you choose to solve? This is a constraint game. You can solve one problem for one specific group of people. If you cannot define the group, you cannot define the solution. The third layer is leverage. How do you scale the solution so that your time is no longer linearly tied to the outcome? This is the part nobody tells you. The machine accelerates all 3 of these layers. It can scan data faster for perception, it can model outcomes faster for selection, and it can automate distribution for leverage. But here's the dark side of that acceleration. If your perception is blurry, AI accelerates the blur. If your selection is random, AI accelerates the randomness. If you have no leverage to begin with, AI just shows you a faster way to trade your own time for nothing. If those 3 layers are broken, AI doesn't accelerate success. It accelerates failure. That is the core intellectual payoff. The machine is neutral. It is a velocity multiplier applied to your current trajectory. If you are heading toward a wall, AI just gets you to the crash site faster. Let's look at this in concrete terms. Example A. You have a person with access to the latest model. They sit down at 10:30 p.m. after scrolling for an hour and type, "Write me a LinkedIn post about productivity for remote workers." The AI does it. It's grammatically perfect. It's boring. It sounds like everyone else who just read a 5 a.m. routine thread. They post it. They check back 4 times in the next hour. Nothing happens. Silence. They close the tab feeling more drained than before they opened it. They have used AI randomly. They have consumed hours. They have generated noise. The result is 0 traction and a growing sense that the tool is a gimmick. Example B. A different person approaches the machine with a specific problem. They have noticed that independent video editors they work with waste almost 4 hours every Friday night reconciling client revision notes with their actual invoice totals. That is a clear perception. They select that problem because 3 people in their Slack channel complained about it just this week. They do not ask AI for a business. They ask AI to help them build a simple Notion template that automatically calculates the final bill based on the number of approved revision rounds. They use AI to draft the instructions and the sales page copy specifically for a freelance video editor named Sarah. The output is focused. The value exists before the AI touches it. The AI just packages and scales the clarity. 1 month later, they have 12 customers paying $9 a month. It's not millions. It's not hype. It's just the system working because the input was specific and valuable. Brings us to the reframe. The problem was never the AI. It was the system you were attempting to use AI on. We have to stop looking at the prompt bar as a lottery ticket and start seeing it for what it actually is. AI is not a shortcut that bypasses the work of thinking. It is a multiplier of clarity. If you have clarity, it makes you faster. If you have confusion, it makes you more confused, but now you're confused at scale with very official-sounding text. This is where the slight discomfort should settle in. It is an empowered discomfort. You realize you've been blaming the car for not driving itself to a destination you never entered into the GPS. The engine is roaring, the tires are spinning, and you're sitting there wondering why the scenery hasn't changed. The work is not in the prompting. The work is in the noticing and the choosing. The machine can handle the rest. If you fix the system, the tool finally works. That's the shift. The loop from the beginning closes here. AI didn't fail to make you money. It just refused to lie to you about where you were pointing it. The moment you refine the input, the output follows. The bank balance doesn't respond to prompts. It responds to solved problems. And the only thing standing between you and that clarity is the willingness to stop asking the machine what to do and start telling it what problem you've already decided to fix.